All right, buckle up, prog rock fans, because things are about to get weird. Have you ever, and I mean ever, imagined hearing a brand new Rush song in this day and age?
Yeah, not something I thought I'd be talking about.
Me neither. But get this, there's this AI program, Udio, and it's basically reinventing the classics. And we're not talking just any classics. We're talking Geddy Lee, Peter Gabriel, even Fish from Marillion.
The deep cuts, huh?
Oh yeah, straight into the prog depths. But here's the kicker. It's not just like MIDI versions of their greatest hits. This AI is creating totally new material. And the vocal.
Let me guess, scarily accurate.
Downright uncanny.
Right.
So that's our deep dive for today. This AI prog rock explosion, what it means, and maybe, just maybe, what it says about the future of music itself.
We've got some good source material for this one. Someone said it's a bit of a rant, actually.
Passionate about prog rock, are they?
Big time. They get into all the bands we just mentioned, even shared some links to this Udio thing, so we'll dig into all that.
Should be wild.
Huh?
But before we hit play on the AI rush, want to give us a little background on how this even works. I mean, I barely passed high school computer science, so AI music generation sounds kind of like magic to me.
It's definitely complex, but the basic idea is surprisingly simple, at least at its core. Basically, you've got these programs, often using something called neural networks, and they're like sponges, soaking up music data. Tons of it.
So like feeding it every album, every B-side, every bootleg live show.
Exactly. Every drum fill from Neil Peart, every single high note from Geddy Lee, it's all fuel for the AI. And the program analyzes all of that, breaks it down to understand the patterns, the structures, the nuances of what makes that artist or band unique.
Okay, so it's like learning the musical DNA.
Yeah, you could say that. It's figuring out how to replicate those complex chords, the specific vocal styles, even the way instruments are played together.
Which would explain how it can mimic something as, well, distinctive as Geddy Lee, right? Like, I love the guy, but that voice. It's basically the sonic equivalent of a unicorn riding a rocket.
That's one way to put it. But you've hit on a key point. It's one thing to program a computer to play notes in a certain sequence. It's a whole other ballgame to capture the feeling, the soul of an artist's work. And that's what makes this Udio thing so fascinating.
So it's not just spitting out generic prog rock riffs, it's like tailored imitation.
It really seems that way. We'll get into the specifics when we listen to some samples, but from what I've heard, yeah, it's incredibly specific. It's analyzing the way Geddy Lee transitions between his chest voice and head voice, how he uses vibrato. It's really shockingly sophisticated.
Which, if we think about it, has some pretty huge implications, right? I mean, just imagine if you can recreate the sound of Rush with this level of accuracy. Bands could essentially become immortal.
It's a bit of a mind-bending thought, isn't it? Releasing new music long after they've stopped touring or recording, the record industry would be turned upside down.
Whoa, okay. Imagine a world with brand new, never-before-heard music from, like, Peter Gabriel era Genesis. Part of me is like, sign me up. But the other part is wondering, is that even right? Like, does it diminish the artistry of the original creators?
You hit the nail on the head. That's the million-dollar question. And it's something our source grapples with, too, actually. They mentioned this feeling of unease, almost like a line was being crossed.
And I get it. A band's sound is their identity, their legacy.
Exactly. And the legal ramifications alone are massive. Who owns the rights to AI-generated music that sounds exactly like a particular artist? Is it the AI developer, the company behind the program? Do the original artists have any say?
It's a minefield. But even if we set aside the legal stuff, there's still a deeper philosophical question here. Like, even if Udio can nail the sound, can it truly replicate the human spark, the inspiration, the experiences that fueled the music in the first place?
Right. It's easy to get caught up in the technical wizardry, but ultimately, music is about connecting with something deeper, something human.
And this isn't just a hypothetical what-if for the big names. Our source specifically mentioned Marillion, Fish's voice, those lyrics. It's so niche, but if you know, you know. It's like a secret handshake for prog fans.
For sure, and that's what makes the whole thing so intriguing. Could this technology actually breathe new life into lesser-known prog bands, introduce them to a whole new generation? Or would it just be a pale imitation, lacking the soul of the original?
I mean, imagine rediscovering a band you loved through AI-generated new material. On one hand, it's exciting, but then again, are we losing something essential in that exchange? The raw, imperfect human element that makes music resonate so deeply.
And if you thought things couldn't get weirder, consider this. If Udio can tackle the complexities of prog rock, a genre known for its, eccentric musicianship,
To put it mildly.
then what about everything else? Pop, jazz, classical. The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing. This could fundamentally change how music is created, experienced, even owned.
So what started with, wait, an AI can sing like Geddy Lee, has spiraled into a deep dive on the future of music itself.
Which is exactly what we hoped for. And the best part is, you don't have to take our word for it.
We'll drop some links in the show notes to Udio's stuff. Give it a listen, see what you think. Is this the next evolution of music or just a really convincing echo of the past?
Let us know. Until then, happy listening.
Climb the mountains, explore the land, feel the rhythm, take a stand. Won't you chase those dreams? Yes, you can. Oh, don't you falter, just be free. Listen to the wind, let it be. And you can soar high if you try.
Boy seeking new adventure, nothing left in his hometown sector. Hops on a plane to the rising sun. First summer there, the experience has begun. Bright colors, strange culinary delights, a whirlwind of Roppongi and Shibuya nights. Was it good or was it bad? This first summer was a mixture of happy and sad.
Stranded in a dream of colors bold, mystic lands and tales unfold, echoes of a time that's long ago. Light and shadow, ebb and flow. Touch the sky, feel the stream. I'm lost in the quiet of the night. The screen it glows, a digital siren's call, a life it shows. Through the window of the soul, pixels rearranged. A world so vast, yet so estranged.
In the twilight the shadows play, I stand with nature's silent hand. In the twilight the whispers understand, the pipes and flutes command.